All the causes, I mean, there are so many now, aren't there, as you say? I mean, there's so many needs, there's so many plangent needs that people have, don't they?
They are connected, though.
They are, almost all of them, you think?
I would say so. I would say they're connected.
And what about all forms of music that you participate in? They're all intimately connected, are they?
Well, I'm led by my curiosity. You know, I'm still a student of music. I like to learn something new all the time. I don't necessarily take the categorization of music terribly seriously. I mean, I can't play Rachmaninoff's Third Piano Concerto, but the basic building blocks that my music and that music's made from are the same. And so it's lovely to play with a symphony orchestra and to try and bring the barriers down. I think it's not like the old days, you know, when people would look down their nose at pop musicians and say, "Oh, I can't play this music."
Quite the reverse. And what you're doing here with the symphonic orchestras is a special form of music too, isn't it? I mean, have you done that before this last world tour?
You know, I've worked with orchestras occasionally on the Grammys or on the Oscars, just a sort of one-off. I've never actually put a program of a whole evening together. Luckily, the songs themselves have enough harmonic movement within them to warrant a symphony orchestra playing them. So, and also I've stolen a lot of classical music anyway. I've stolen from the best, as we do. I've stolen from Bach and Prokofiev and Mussorgsky. So that's easy to do. Not difficult.
Not difficult.
No.
So, are there, in addition to the causes you would like to advance and so on, what are the things you haven't done yet that you want to do in your life?
You know, I want to get better as a musician.
Yeah.
I'm curious about the future of music. I think, you know, there's a crisis in music. We're not sure how to advance. We're not sure where it's going. It's a big wall. And so I'm very curious about what's on the other side of it. I'm not sure how to get around it or under it or, you know,
around the other side of it. Yeah.
There's something there. There's something happening.
Do you think, are you someone who feels there's a God there?
What am I? Probably a deist. I believe in some intelligence out there, but you know, over a massive cosmic period, I'm not sure I believe in. I'm not a religious person. I don't belong to a religion, but I have an idea of something beyond our understanding. That's all I could say.
I remember I was once interviewing Isaac Asimov, who's an atheist, and I was saying, but he was saying he didn't believe in God. And I said, yes, but is there a force that we don't know about? And he said, well, there may be, but if there is, we don't know about it, which was the perfect reply to an ineptly phrased question. But so that you don't worry too much about the afterlife and things like that.
I think this life is fascinating enough. I mean, what we know of the cosmos is incredibly fascinating. But I don't know. I think, you know, the word agnostic means I don't know.
Yeah,
I would say I'm agnostic.
It may be or maybe not, yes.
I haven't a clue.
There's a man who said famously, I'm an atheist, thank God, which was a perfect one. So what is your main ambition for your 6 children?
If I've ever given them a piece of advice, it was to find a job like mine, where they would do it for no money. They do it because they love it. If they want to play music, they do it because music has its own reward, its own value, not to become famous, not to become wealthy. And they would say, well, you know, it's okay for you, Dad, you've done both of those things. I say, no, but the truth is, despite that, the truth is, music is its own reward. Look for that, or art, acting. Whatever you do, do it for love.
And Harper's Bazaar had a tribute to you both here. You probably remember this quote. Styler's legs look like those of a 20-year-old rockette, true and lovely, and while Sting's toned, wasn't it? Yes. Sting's toned torso is giving off a little bit of Baryshnikov. That's a pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Double act, isn't it?
I'll go with that. I'll go with that.
Can't do better than that.
Thank
It's a delight to have this chance to talk to.
Thank you.
The Gaddafi regime's refusal to budge in the face of street protests and its remorseless killing of an estimated 1,000 unarmed Libyans has led to huge dismay abroad, not least in Libya's former colonial master, Italy, which fears a massive influx of refugees. Italy's President Berlusconi has long been a close friend and ally of Gaddafi, and he is desperately trying at the moment to adapt to this new and uncertain situation. The former European Commissioner and leading opposition senator, Emma Bonino, has a particular interest in the current unrest in Libya and beyond. She's a board member of the Africa Democracy Foundation, and I'm glad to say she joins us again right now from Rome. Welcome, Emma.
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you for saying yes, too. Tell me, we were just talking there about influx of up to 300,000 people from Libya into Italy. Could Italy cope with that? Would it be prepared to cope with it? Would it have to cope with it?
I think that first of all, the figures nobody knows, and I think they are also exaggerated for domestic consumption. They are trying to divert the attention from our responsibility to this sort of threat, which is always possible. I do remember that in '99 we had 1 million displaced from Kosovo to Albania in 1 week in the Great Lakes. So every crisis normally brings with it an influx of displaced refugees, displaced asylum seekers, and so on and so forth. But definitely I think they are using it as a threat for domestic consumption. Definitely there will be a sort of refugees coming, but I think Italy must be prepared to cope with them, and their call for European solidarity, well, they didn't show, we in Italy didn't show so much solidarity to Germany when they received hundreds of thousands of people from Eastern European, so I don't think it will work, but definitely Italy has to be prepared. It's a historical responsibility, it's a sign of humanity, and it's our moral duty.
And what about this close relationship and so on, suspicious relationship, some would say, but close relationship between Berlusconi and Gaddafi? How much of that is an embarrassment, shall we say, to Italy?
Well, it was much more than that. You know, this close relation with Gaddafi is enthusiastically bipartisan. Also, the opposition and Foreign Minister D'Alema and the strategic treaty of partnership and whatsoever was enthusiastically ratified, with some exception, in Parliament 2 years ago. So let's say, then of course Berlusconi, as usual, doesn't have a sense of let's say, decency, and so the question is that all the visit of Gaddafi were a total show. It doesn't have the sense of the limit and institutional decency. But in the substance, this agreement